So, Gbemi, you have your own bridal wear collection, brand. Tell us a bit more about how you got started.
I got started in the industry as a whole, it was just a hobby that I enjoyed from a young age. From about the age of 11, I started making dresses, just not wedding dresses, of course, just regular dresses that I enjoyed making. And through word of mouth, I guess one thing grew from one thing to the other. And my friends would make dresses with me, and then my friends would tell their friends and their friends and their friends. When I left college, I decided not to go to uni and just to pursue my career as a fashion designer. I did that whilst also interning at 2 fashion houses that I worked at. And then once I'd done enough time there, I just started my own brand fully. And in doing that, I guess words kind of spread round, and I got two individual different ladies who wanted me to make their wedding dresses for them. At this point, I never made a wedding dress before. I wasn't interested in making wedding dresses. I think in my head, what I had visioned for the brand was to make maybe red carpet dresses as big as I thought I would get. But they were interested in making the wedding dresses for them. I did it just because I thought it would be an interesting challenge to take on. The following year, I made my sister's wedding dress. And I think with those 3 dresses that I made, the response that I received from the actual brides, it's like they were so happy. The first bride I made, the second bride that I made her dress, she actually cried. Wow. So I was like, oh wow, okay, this is a lot more than I expected. So I think for me, the response that I received from them kind of made the job a lot more worth it. So from there, I decided that maybe I actually want to go into wedding dresses. Not that I was trying to limit myself to it, but I thought to myself it would be a good idea to sort of venture into that. So that's what I did. I did that by making a collection and doing like a massive show to kind of just get the word out there and make it known that we do wedding dresses.
So just to take it back a bit, because obviously that took a little while. So for those watching, just so they can kind of understand how they could maybe get into it as well. So we started at college with a love for fashion. And
secondary school.
Secondary school. Okay. So what was it that made you think fashion is my thing from secondary school?
When in year 7, when you do textiles, I think the first thing we made was a pencil case.
Okay, I remember.
And I just really, it just came naturally to me. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. When I came home, my mum had a sewing machine, so I used her sewing machine to make clothes. And for me, it was just like, it was almost just like second nature. And I began making, so obviously the difference from making a pencil case to making clothes, that's a big thing. But I started making dresses by taking apart clothes that I already had and then copying the pattern, re-sewing it. I actually started by just taking apart clothes and sewing the same thing back together again, just to get the hang of sewing properly. And then from there, I would take things apart. So all the terminology behind the technical stuff and the theory-based stuff in fashion, I didn't even know about it. Like, I didn't know things like seams, darts. I didn't know the practical words for it, but I just knew how to do the things that I was doing. And then from there, it was literally like every day, like I would want to sew. I would just be making clothes, not really making that much money from it. I used to charge like maybe £12 for dresses.
For a whole dress?
Yeah.
Should have known that.
Those times are long gone. But I just really, really enjoyed it. So at that stage, it wasn't so much that I was trying to make some massive brands out of it. I just pretty much loved making clothes. And I would do that as a hobby.
So from your love of designing that you found, you went from a pencil case to your first dress, charging £12. What was the first big piece that you can remember making that really kind of solidified, this is the path I'm going to take?
I entered a competition when I was 14, I believe, or 15, 14 or 15. It was... what was it? FDA, so the fashion design, I can't remember the title of the organisation, but the position that I was going for was the designer of the year awards, basically. And there was quite a few people who had entered the competition, different age ranges. I was one of the youngest. So in my head, I kind of just thought, I'm not going to win, like, I'm I'm younger than all these people, but I'm going to do it just because it's fun, and also it'll just be nice to say that I participated in it. So I did that competition and I ended up winning it. So when I won that competition, I was like, oh my days, like I actually won, this is a big deal. So I think from that point, that's when I kind of realised that, okay, I definitely have a skill in this particular area. And, it's obviously liked by other people because the judges decided that I was the winner of the competition. So, but that was when I was still in year 9. So at this point, I didn't necessarily say to myself that I was going to be into a fashion designer. I just thought that, okay, I'll do it alongside something. And also, coming from an African household and, telling them that you're doing fashion design as a career, it was like, no, you're not. So I kind of thought to myself, okay, even if anything, I'll do like more of an academic subject in college and uni, and then I will do fashion alongside it. But then it kind of got to the point where I think after college, the fact that they increased the university fees from 3,000 to 9,000, that really helped me make a decision because I was like, I'm not going to uni and paying that price. And then also, I just couldn't imagine myself doing anything else. Like, what was the difficult thing was that academically, I was quite bright. So I got good grades. So it was like, on the outside, it would look like you've got all these good grades and you don't want to use any of them. But at the same time, I was good creatively. So I guess I had the option. I had the choice of either taking that route or taking this route. But I like to be excited when I'm doing something, and all the different, like I like maths and stuff. So, but the things that I felt I could do with those sort of subjects, it didn't excite me thinking of doing it, like sitting behind the desk and on the computer all day. I could not imagine myself doing that at all. I would maybe do and I'm the kind of person, if I can do something and if I don't enjoy it, I'll just get up and go. And I'm not going to be able to sit around for that. So, I mean, a lot of my family was saying that, why don't you just secure a degree in something academic and then after you could pursue fashion? I was like, that's a waste of time. Why would I do that? In the time that I'm doing that academic subject, I could be building my brand. So I just saw myself better suited to the creative side of things, and that being the fashion industry. So that's when I just kind of thought, I'm definitely going to go into this. So that's when I think the biggest decision I had to make was saying I'm not going to go to uni. Obviously you go to uni at any time, but it was just, I think I decided that I'm not going to uni. I'm going to do my own thing. And that's things I'm going to do in fashion.
So when was the AloNuko brand born?
Okay, well, with the name AloNuko, it was 2012. When I was 16.
Oh wow, so you had it from before you even knew that wedding dresses were going to be the direction? Okay.
So the name is basically my surname flipped around. My surname's Okunola, AloNuko is just the reverse. So when I made the name, when we registered the company, I was just excited about officially being a business owner and having a company. So literally, on my 16th birthday, I registered my company. I was like, I did a business. And at that stage, again, it wasn't the whole wedding thing, it was just regular evening wear. And but that's pretty much when I would say it started, because I mentioned my brand, and that's when I knew in my head. So that's when I decided that I wasn't going to go to uni. And no, that wouldn't have been that was the beginning of college. But that's when I decided to do fashion in college. So my parents are quite fixed on me doing academic subjects. So I actually started college with doing sociology, business studies, maths, further maths, art and textiles. I don't know what I was doing there, but I did those subjects for like 2 weeks, and then unfortunately 2 weeks into starting college, my best friend passed away, and then I kind of just went into this. I kind of just started thinking life is too short. You have to make sure you're happy at all times. You're doing the right things. So then, like literally, she died on a Saturday. When I came to school, when I came to college on a Monday, I just went to the office. I was like, "Can I just drop everything, please, and do fashion design, BTech advanced?" I kept business studies though, because that was good. And then, I think from that point, I pretty much made the decision because I've dropped all the subjects that could possibly take me to do anything other than fashion. So that's what I really enjoyed it. When I was in college, I enjoyed it a lot. Like I really, really enjoyed what I was doing, and I could just see a vision with it for the future.
So you followed your passion. You've decided on the direction of your brand. And now it comes time to making money and making this a business. What and obviously the business degree, really, the business course that you took at college would have really helped with that. So when did you decide, or how did you decide rather, to take the passion for what you do and make that into a business that you're actually now generating an income from?
So, I mean, when I left the fashion house that I was working at, I was working at the fashion house whilst I was working at my studio for my clients, but it wasn't at this level at all. When I left the fashion house to like completely pursue this fully, I didn't work towards a long-term goal all the time. I had different steps that I would work towards, and I would say, okay, my aim for this month is to just make a dress that's this price and actually find someone who can pay that price for the dress, or who's willing to pay that price for the dress.
So you have your brand, you have the direction, you have the vision. How did you draw on your experience from your business course that you studied to really take it to the next level?
So what I would say is when I was making dresses, when I left the fashion house that I was working at, trying to work with clients, that wasn't so difficult for me in the sense where I was receiving clientele and everything that I'd learned through business in terms of, labor, fabric, profit, all those theory-based things. It was working, it made sense. But then what I found was that the kind of dresses that I wanted to create, the kind of dresses that I wanted to sell, trying to find the people to buy those sort of dresses where it wasn't so simple. So I would say the things that were important at that stage was marketing and the actual putting business, actually doing the business side of things and not just the creative side of things. So what I found that I had to do was, if I made a dress and I know like that dress is worth, let's just say worth £100, for example, at the time I would sell it for £40. Because what my strategy was at the time was to just get the name out there. So trying to just let people know about AloNuko, let people know about the brand, as opposed to trying to make lots of money. Because I find that there's a lot of brands who they won't. It's like it's £400 and that's it. But you're saying it's £400 and that's it. You're not getting any sales. And it's just like, would you not rather? I mean, as long as I was always breaking even. So I may not be making a profit as such, or maybe like a couple pounds worth of a profit. But my aim at that time was to just let people know about the brand, let people know about the brand, until it got to a stage where the people that were knowing about the brand were people who were actually willing to pay a little bit more, and then slowly increment it was like, okay, the target audience was people who could afford a little bit more. So because I know before, if I was to say to somebody a dress was £300, they'd be like, what? £300? But it's like now, you tell somebody £300, or we don't actually have dresses that are £300 at the moment, but it's just when people, at the time when we first started, we've done all those years where we were selling things for £40, and we know that particular thing could sell for over £100. So I guess for me, the business side of it was really understanding that as creative as your designs may be, as amazing as designs may be, unfortunately, you just don't necessarily have that brand yet. And that's not a problem. Anybody that starts off, depending on how you start. And I also knew that I didn't really want to go down the route of getting like a massive loan or anything like that was going to just have such a heavy financial impact on me. Also, I didn't feel like if I was to get a loan or anything like that at the time, I would necessarily know exactly what to do. I feel like a lot of times people feel as though all I need is a huge sum of money, but you don't actually know what you're going to do with money when it comes. And then what ends up happening is you spend all the money and you're still at the same place that you were at. So I just thought I'm fine with just not necessarily receiving as much for now, but knowing that I'm building a brand. So that was kind of my strategy in the beginning, just trying to build, and of course we're still building our brand now. Like we're definitely not the brand that we will be soon, but it was just about trying to build a certain foundation where we are liked by people. People like our clothes, people like who we are as a brand, and then through that, hopefully get into the kind of people that we want to actually buy and pay for our clothes.
So it's really about learning from those experiences. So trying something, if it doesn't work, trying something again, and then
just literally, if it doesn't work, you find another way, you change something. And it was because I was confident that our dresses I liked. I knew that, okay, we've got that. Some people don't have good products, right? But I know that our product is good. So it's the business side of things. And again, because with fashion, there's so many ways in which you can do something. Everyone can be at the end at the same place, but they took different routes to get there. So it's not so much that, it's just one size fits all. It's like you might have to do a lot of trial and error. You might have to try something that might not work, and then you change the strategy a little bit. So I was open to doing all of that. I didn't have much to lose. So I was happy to kind of just try different techniques, try different strategies, see what works. If it works, I stick with it. If it doesn't work, I change it slightly. Very, very ready to listen to people who have gone before me, whether that be in fashion or just in business in general, and just take advice. Not think that you know it all, because I definitely don't. So just be willing to really learn.
So you mentioned before that there's so many different routes you can take, and one of the routes that you took was to use some popular personalities and celebrities that we know. So Maya Jama, you created an amazing dress for her. To Savage, Lydia Bright from The Only Way is Essex as well. So talk to us about your decision to choose the people that you did and how that's helped to grow and scale your brand.
So everybody knows that social media is like powerful now. I mean, you've got people like Beyonce who posts on social media. She really doesn't need a social media page, but we know that social media, everybody's on it, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, and it's a way to kind of organically build your brand and for people to see the natural side of a brand and the real side of a brand. So we know that Instagram is powerful just because of we haven't got a website, and that's what we've used to that, and word of mouth is what we've used to push the brand. And there's been times where we've made, a wedding dress for a particular client who's not a celebrity or anything, and it's literally gone viral, over 5,000 likes on reposts on lots of pages. So with that, we know that, okay, if we can get that from somebody who's not even a celebrity, what more a celebrity? So again, choosing the kind of celebrity that we wanted to endorse our clothes, I was quite picky and quite specific with who I wanted. I didn't want a thing where it's just, because they've got 1 million followers on Instagram, it has to be them. I wanted somebody who I felt the public would be able to relate with, somebody who I felt in our dress that they would look good in, and just somebody who's actually liked. So we contacted a lot of different stylists, so we'll just kind of look at the kind of people we want to dress and try and get in contact with their stylist. You know that working with these sort of people, I guess they're busy, so you would not get responses for a long period of time, but you just have to be persistent. So we would send emails and after emails to the same people, different people. So with Maya Jama, we did just that. DM'd, emailed. After a few emails back and forth, we actually got a response from her stylist who said that, she's got the NTAs coming up soon. If we'll be interested in working with her on that project, then we can do. So we literally got on board with that, designed her dress for her, made her dress for her to wear to NTAs. And what was really good was that they gave us creative freedom with it. So we were able to design what we felt would suit her for the event that she was going to. Which was nice, because I had said to myself that I don't want to just make a dress for somebody just for making a dress sake. Anything that I make, it still needs to scream AloNuko. People need to see, I know it's an AloNuko dress. I don't want to have to compromise on the way I design simply because I want to be out there. And we did that. She looked lovely. I think she even got one of the best dress looks for the NTAs, which was really good. So there was a lot of press on her dress. So from that, you get a lot of people passing through your page. So some people might say, okay, but you make wedding dresses, you specialize in wedding dresses. Why are you, pushing out evening wear? Which is understandable, but I guess the way we look at it, it wasn't so much trying to get people to order the dress that Maya Jama was wearing. It was just to get people to just hit the AloNuko page from her comment or from her stylist's comment, and then through that people then get to our page and see what it is that we actually do, and then it's essentially hopefully book a dress or stay in contact and just know that we're there for whenever they need a wedding dress or whatever it might be.
And what was the specific impact of that? So you chosen your celebrity, you've dressed her. What was the specific impact that my wearing your dress had on your brand?
So you gained followers. You gained to be honest with you, I cannot remember just how many, but I know that it was thousands of followers that we gained from Maya Jama specifically. You gain followers, you get a lot of people who are interested in a specific dress. So I guess the benefit, if for example it was a wedding dress, the benefit of that would be that lots of people are ordering wedding dresses, but you get a lot of people who are interested in the exact dress. You get a lot of people who come to your page and are scanning to see what it is that you're making. So they may not be ready to get married now, but they might have a friend getting married now, or just know that getting married in 2 years' time because I'm coming back to. So essentially the end result is to get bookings. So from people coming to your page and seeing what you do and wanting your service and booking your service, from making a dress for a celebrity, you're basically getting that. And it's a celebrity endorsement, so it's not like they're not paying for the dress. They don't always keep the dress. But so you're pretty much investing because you're paying for the material, it's your labour. But in the long run, the aim is that you're pretty much compensated plus more for that through the good work that you've just got on the red carpet.
Fantastic. So in terms of moving forward now, what can we expect to see from the AloNuko brand?
Well, we have another collection coming out next year, which we're working on at the moment. It's actually a ready-to-wear bridal collection. So we specialise in bespoke bridal wear. But this is actually a ready-to-wear collection we have coming out. Different to what we usually do, because I've never done ready-to-wear. In terms of you go to the site and literally buy this. But it's something that I decided that I would do simply because one thing that I've just observed from the years that I've been doing it is that there's a lot of people who are interested in our dresses, a lot of people who want to be an AloNuko bride. But being a bespoke brand, our prices are not necessarily on the lower end, and that's not something that we don't try to do that. We know that our prices are on higher end, and we're fine with that because we know that what we're giving you is quality work. But at the same time, we do want everybody who wants to be an AloNuko bride to have the opportunity to be one. So what we've decided to do is with the ready-to-wear collection, it would be more on the, again, it's not going to be cheap, but it's more on the affordable side for the masses. So just a collection of dresses which are still beautiful, it will still be made to measure. So it's not going to be standard size 8, 10, 12. It will still be made to measure, but what that will just give people is opportunity to be able to be an AloNuko bride, but for more of an affordable price. We also have ready to wear evening wear collection coming out, which will again be significantly less expensive than our prices for our bespoke range. So I guess it will compete with more of the like shop dresses that you would find. But again, our standard would remain the same. But we've just obviously put strategies in place to be able to put out dresses that can be more affordable but maintain the quality.
So with all the achievements and everything you've learned, what would be the one thing that you would tell your younger self?
Okay. One thing, I think I would tell my younger self that you're actually young. I think when I started, and every time I was doing something in my head, sometimes or a lot of the times, I felt because I had a business, it was like, it has to be like this, it has to be like that, and I need to do this, I need to do this by this age, I need to do that by that age. And also, I think I kind of compared, so because I didn't go to uni, I would compare like my 3 years that I would have been at uni with somebody who's graduated. So for me, at the end of 3 years, I felt like I had to have like a big accomplishment to match somebody who would have graduated from uni, and then they've got a job, so they've got some sort of promotion, so I need to have the same. So it's not about comparing yourself to other people and where they might be. It's about just comparing yourself to the last thing that you've done. And just really recognizing that you're still young. Like even now I'm still young, I'm 24. And not putting too much pressure. I think a certain amount of pressure is good because it's what drives you, but not too much pressure to the point that you feel as though you're not doing as good as you are actually doing.